Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for joining us. I'm super excited to bring you today how to make yourself employable in the Web3 space. So if you are just tuning in, kindly comment where you are streaming from in the comments below. And do well to share this live stream link with your family and friends. Invite as many as possible to tune in so they would learn what they've got to do in order to be employable in the Web3 space. So, my name is Emmanuel Jacob and I will be your host. Then I'm going to bring our guest speaker subsequently to the screen, and it's going to be taking you on how to be employable in the Web3 space. So kindly let me know where you are streaming from in the comments below. Comment where you are streaming from. Possibly comment your name and where you are streaming from. Comment your name and where you are streaming from in the comments below. Comment where you are streaming from. Comment where you are streaming from in the comments below. Comment where you are streaming from. Comment where you are streaming from. I'm waiting. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in our guest speaker. And before that, I'd like you to get your writing materials ready, as is going to be dishing out some valuable information that is going to help you in the Web3 space. It's going to help you out to know what exactly you've got to do to have yourself equipped to be employable in the Web3 space. Please let's know where you are streaming from. Okay, Kanimo John is streaming from AXU Obiokpa campus. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please ensure you've shared the link with your family and friends. Share the event link with your family and friends. I'm going to bring in our guest speaker now. So before that, Whiskubus is an expert, right? And that is why it wasn't a mistake for me to choose him to be our guest speaker today, right? So he's a community manager. And for someone to be a community manager in the Web3 space, it's someone, before he was able to maybe get jobs of managing crypto communities, he was found and considered fit, right? And he's also a growth marketer. So he's going to be sharing with us how he got to that level, right? He's going to be sharing with us what you too can do in order for you to be employable in the Web3 space. So, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Manuel.
Thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So I did a brief introduction and about you. So I would like you to tell us a little about yourself before we dive into what we are looking to discuss today.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Risco Bruson Studio right there. As well, like a cryptocurrency community manager and a great marketer with 4 years of experience right now in the cryptocurrency and blockchain ecosystem. Also talking with you guys about how to be employable in the Web3 ecosystem. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that. So I want to leave the floor for you, sir, for you to educate us on how we could be employable in the Web3 space. So, I think um, we have like 30 minutes for this session, 30 minutes or possibly less, because I don't like lengthy sessions so that it's not going to be boring. So, you are going to be brief, and at the end, we are going to give our audience the opportunity to ask questions in regards to this particular topic and what is going to be discussed. So do well to write down both your questions and the points that is going to be shared in the course of this session. So over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Talking about getting employable in the Web3 ecosystem, at first you must have a skill. And there are various kind of skills in the Web3 ecosystem. We have the technical skills and the non-technical skills. Now, talking about the technical skills, that is basically related to programming, that is the coding skills. And in the coding skills, we have various aspects of coding. We have people that are specialists in UI UX designs. We have front-end developers. We have back-end developers. We have the DevOps engineers, and we have the machine and AI engineers as well. But for me, I'm a non-technical person in the Web3 ecosystem. Now, non-technical skills in the Web3 ecosystem include content writing, community management or moderation, business development, etc. Even business analysts are also into the non-technical aspects of the Web3 ecosystem. Okay, now talking about these skills right now, before you can get employed in the Web3 ecosystem, at first you must be very good at what to do. Like for me, I'm a cryptocurrency community manager and also a great marketer. Like after like transited from Web 2 to Web 3, there's no so much difference between Web 3 jobs and Web 2 jobs. You just need to like be able to like upgrade your skills and be better. That's just it. Okay, talking about being employable and where to get these jobs and how to go about them. Fine. To some of us that are right here, some of us here might kind of be newbies into cryptocurrency, and some of us here that are listening right now might be fully into crypto, like already doing what I'm trying to talk about, that is crypto jobs. Fine. Getting crypto jobs are very easy. Getting crypto jobs are very, very, very easy. It's just that some of us are kind of some of us are not kind of consistent in looking for these jobs. We have various websites where you can like get these jobs, hunt for these jobs. We have social media platform like where you can hunt for these jobs as well. Now talking about websites you can hunt for these jobs, we have web3.career, we have web3jobs.com, and so many of them out there. And talking about social media platforms you can hunt for these jobs, we have LinkedIn, we have Twitter, the basic ones. That's where you can see a lot of Web3 opportunities, job opportunities. And getting these jobs, it like lies in three different ways. Getting these jobs is easy, but there are three basic ways you can get these jobs. Number one is by applying for these jobs. Number two is by recommendation, and number three is by positioning yourself. Positioning yourself. So I'd love to like explain briefly how to like get these jobs from the different angles I actually mentioned above. Number one is positioning yourself. By positioning yourself, for example, you are a graphic designer. You are just you are just good, but you're not putting out yourself out there in the social media. So what you need to do is, okay, you're a graphic designer. What you need to do is keep posting content on Twitter or LinkedIn consistently. There's no way a VC, CEO, or CMO will not be able to like recognize you in due time, and from there you can get your job very easy. Number two is through recommendations. Recommendation comes from previous projects or persons you work with, and they see what is like work for other projects. That's recommendation. Once you are good at what you do, other persons or your previous employer will be out there to like recommend you to other projects. Like in my own case, I actually work with Symbiosis Finance. Yeah, from Symbiosis Finance, I was being recommended to work for another project. Yeah, so recommendation works in the crypto ecosystem. And the third, but not the least, is by application. You don't need to relate effort on applying for jobs. You don't need to relate effort on applying for jobs. There are a lot of jobs out there. It's just for you to keep applying them. By applying them, you don't need to apply them blindly. You need to apply them like as if your life depends on it. Now, by applying, you need to like be able to like optimize your CV. That's a very important aspect of today, optimizing your CV. Now, why do you need to optimize your CV? Is because a lot of persons are applying for the same role you are applying, and most of these HRs or recruiters or CMOs might not really have the time to like go through your CV one after the other. They made use of an AI right now to like scan through your CV to see if you're a good fit. And scanning through your CV, the AI will look into the keywords that they really need for the job. So that's why whenever you are also using your CV to apply for any job, you must make sure that some keywords are also right there for a specific role so that it can be considered. So those are the basic three ways of how to like get a job. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Manuel.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you so much for that. Um, that was very precise. So I want to ask, um, what are the most important skills that is needed in the Web3 space that will make it easy for one to be able to secure a job in the Web3 space?
Okay, the most important skill to me is persistence. Why I say persistence is because by reaching out to a project or a company to work for them and you keep getting rejection mails. So the most important skill is being persistent and resilience in applying for this job. That's the most important skills. And also, you need to be good on your own skill set. Maybe a graphic designer, content creator, a backend developer, front-end developer, etc. But the most important skill one needs to have in the Web3 ecosystem is persistence and resilience because you'll be faced with a lot of rejection mails, of which you need to like keep applying and keep reaching out to your employers. So that does it.
All right, thank you very much. So,
Yeah.
so to the second question, which is okay, the second question is on the screen. What are some of the challenges that job seekers might face in the Web3 markets?
Okay. Number one challenge that is kind of common here in Africa is racism. There are a lot of companies that whenever you're an African, you'll not be considered to work for them. I once got such challenge as well. Yeah, that was for a GameFi project. I will not have to mention the name. I was actually part of the team before the launch, so I was working perfectly. But when they actually launched, they said, okay, because I'm an African, and because of that, I can't work for them anymore. They actually got me a kind of lesser role. So that is number one challenge people face in the job ecosystem in Web3. Also, another challenge that you might face is rejection mails. Yeah, it's common, but that's also a challenge. And the number three also challenge my face the three ecosystem like job seeking should be termination of job at any appointed time because most of these jobs that we actually do, most of the jobs we don't sign a contract and these jobs can actually be terminated at any time. So those are the basic challenges you might find in getting this job. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So the third question
Thank you.
is, how can someone with a non-technical background break into the Web3 industry?
Okay. Breaking into the Web3 industry with no technical skill is quite easy. At first, you need to be willing to learn because learning cryptocurrency and blockchain is not that hard. You need to like also try to like belong to a community. Like there's no usage on Twitter or Facebook about crypto community, hashtag crypto community. You'll be able to like find one, two, or three crypto communities that you can actually belong to. Then once you join this community now, you'll be able to like network with other individuals, try to check out what they do, and explain to them what you want to like get better on crypto. So now from there, we can actually like try to like understand what crypto and blockchain is all about and then start applying for jobs. Yeah, start applying for jobs quite as easy as that because as an ambassador, you don't really need to do much. There are some ambassadors that only need to like retweet and like a content, and that's all. So breaking into the Web3 ecosystem with no skill is quite easy now with the help of an ambassador program because most of these ambassador program people do don't need any unique kind of skills. So that does it.
All right, thank you very much. So the fourth question is, what are the most important strengths in the Web3 space that job seekers should be aware of?
Okay, thank you very much regarding this question. One need to like look out on ecosystem trends. Like currently right now, the Arbitrum network, like the Arbitrum ecosystem is what is actually like trending right now because of their massive forms, massive launches of new projects. So one needs to like pay attention the recent trend in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Yeah, just like be kind of attentive to the information that's actually trending. Yeah, that's just I can get them on Twitter, Medium, Reddit, and the rest of the platforms. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, let me add that because cryptocurrency is basically all about trends. And one thing
Yeah,
about trends in the cryptocurrency is that if you snooze, you lose. Seriously, because cryptocurrency is one of the factors that do pump the cryptocurrency market, or one of the factors that do bring attention to maybe certain cryptocurrency projects are trends. And if you don't key in early enough, you are going to lose a whole lot of money. You are going to leave a lot of money on the table. So if you want to be updated, if you want to always um, be part of any trend that comes up, then you have to belong to a particular cryptocurrency community and also be active, right? You have to be active and you have to take actions whenever a particular trend comes up, so that you will not end up leaving money on the table. All right, so we go to the fifth question. Our fifth question is what's how can someone demonstrate their knowledge and expertise in the Web3 space to potential employers?
okay, demonstrating your potential to your employer can be by volunteering. You can start by volunteering for these projects, maybe as a graphic designer or as anything that you can do very well. By volunteering now, there's no way you volunteer perfectly and they will not kind of employ you in the long run. So the best way to go about this is by volunteering and also putting up their contents for free on social media platforms. With time, you'll be recognized. So that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that. We still have four more questions. And based on what has been shared so far, if you have a question, please do well to drop it in the comments below, and our expert is going to attend to your question. And if you are new to this YouTube channel, please do well to hit on the subscribe button, as we are going to be bringing you series of educative stuffs on a weekly basis on this YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe and turn on post notification so that you don't miss any of them, right? Subscribe and do well to engage on this session so that YouTube will get to suggest it to other users just like you. So, I mean, you should give us a thumbs up, comment, drop your questions, and if you are yet to share it with your friends, please do so to hit on the share button, copy the link, and share it with them. So, we move on to the sixth question. The sixth question says, what are some of the common mistakes that job seekers make when applying for jobs in the Web3 industry?
Okay, the common mistake that is very rampant in the ecosystem that most employees make is reaching out directly to these employers. Is quite so unfair. Like declaring your interest to the CEO is quite very unfair. You can start by asking about the projects, trying to like find lapses on the project and try to like offer free service. You don't just like pitch out directly to a CEO or any hiring manager. Oh, that you want to work as a moderator or you want to work as a graphic designer. Most of the times you won't be answered. Like there won't be any positive feedback. But we start by, oh, I learned about your project. Is again five projects. What do you think is a competitive advantage over this other project that is offering the same service? From there, that will break conversation between you and the employer. From there, you can later on pitch out your interest to him, and from that, you'll be kind of considered if there is a vacancy or not. So that's the best way. Don't go directly. Go in a way that you create a relationship between you and the employer before you pitch out your own interest. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that. Hey, that reminds me. the last question, when you were giving an answer to that, you talked about volunteering. So I see a whole lot of young people that are looking for jobs and they are not ready to volunteer, right? I want to lay
Yeah.
emphasis on this because you have nothing to lose, even if you don't get employed at the end of the day, even if you don't get employed after volunteering, because you are going to add to your portfolio that at a certain point you worked for a certain company, right? Or maybe you were volunteering for them. And also, you are going to learn a whole lot from the experience of working for a particular, maybe Web3 project or thereabouts. So, volunteering also makes you visible to not just the people you are working for currently, but other people. And you may get employed because someone saw that, okay, someone actually see that you were working for a particular company before now, and maybe they could even admire your job and they would even think of employing you. So I want you to not just focus on the money while you are looking for a job. Also think of how you could be able to add value to a particular project. Think of how you could be able to add value to a particular company. And if you add value to them, then there is chances that you could be employed at the end of the day. All right, so we move on to the seventh question. What is the role of certifications and qualifications in the Web3 job market?
Talking about the role of certifications and qualifications in the Web3 job market. Talking about certificates, as for me, I don't actually have any Web3 certificates, but I'm actually working for several projects. Talking about qualifications right here, all boils down to your proficiency. Your proficiency is all what matters here as your qualification. You don't need any of your degree in the Web3 ecosystem, neither your BSc, SSC certificate, none is needed right here. But I think in the technical aspects of the Web3 ecosystem, they need some degrees. Yeah, they need some degrees, especially for DevOps engineering, machine learning, and the rest of them. But regarding non-technical skills, you don't need any degree, any certifications to go about it. Thank you.
All right, so I also want to add to that, even in the aspect of the technical aspect, right? I still feel that it's not all about certifications, right? Or I would say qualifications, because it's all about what you could be able to do with your hands. It's all about your skills, right? Sometimes people that have the certification or a certificate on a particular field may find it difficult to secure a job than people who really know what to do, right? Because we have a whole lot of people that have certificates of this and that, but they could not be able to defend that certificate. So I think you being able to do a particular thing is far better than having a certification of something you cannot defend. All right, so we move on to the eighth
Exactly.
question. So the eighth question is, how can someone stay up to date with the latest development in the Web3 industry?
Um, Talking about this all boils down to the crypto news platforms, and we have a lot of them. We have Cointelegraph, we have blognews.com, and we have a lot of them out there. Just search out for cryptocurrency news website. You see a lot of them, and that is just for the website. That's where you can track the recent trend in the Web3 ecosystem. Also on social media, you can get most of the trending stuff on social media. That's basically on Twitter and also on LinkedIn. There's no way you go on LinkedIn and type hash crypto as a search button. You see a lot of trending stuff about cryptocurrency and blockchain. And from there, you can derive what is useful to you and what might not be useful to you. So thank you very much. These are just two basic ways you can get trending stuff about cryptocurrency and blockchain. Thank you.
All right, okay. I think I have a little to add to that, and it's
Okay.
FUD, fear of uncertainty and doubt.
Done.
Some of these crypto news platforms are very fond of spreading FUD, right? Because um yes, they know how to manipulate the market so that they could buy the dip and end up making more money, right? So as you are
Yeah.
following some of these crypto news platforms, please be careful and guide your emotions, right? So they end up causing you to sell your good cryptos at loss and the markets end up recovering. All right, so we move on to, yes, someone's in fake news everywhere. Yes, fake news everywhere. So we move on to the ninth.
Yeah.
So the number ninth question is, what are some of the potential career paths for someone looking to build a career in the Web3 space?
Talking about the potential career path someone can like actually dive in the Web3 space. At first, you need to like look into what you have passion for. It all boils down to what you have passion for. It can be you don't have passion for coding and you dive into coding. I don't really think um, you make way faster. You need to like go into what you have passion for, what you can do without much thought. For example, if you are good at writing poems, you can go into article writing with the cryptocurrency ecosystem. If you are good at drawing, you can go into NFT drawing. If you are good at maybe graphic design, some designs of so you can go into UI UX or the graphic design aspect of it. So you just like go into what you can do at ease. That's my advice regarding this particular question. I can say go into the technical aspect. I can also say go into the non-technical aspect. No, you need to like go into what you feel you have passion for. And before you have passion for something, you need to like try it out, compare the both or three or four of them and see which one suits best for you. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Yes, in regards to what are the some potential career paths, there is a question in our comments of which I'm going to bring it to the screen so you do justice
Okay.
to it. All right. So this person is asking, okay, he started by saying career path is specific, please, and he added, I do low code automation, for instance, and is asking, is the skill needed in Web3?
Okay, thank you very much. Talking about automation, that simply refers to software testing and quality assurance. Now, software testing is quite somewhat needed in the cryptocurrency ecosystem, especially regarding dApps, that is decentralized apps. There's no dApps out there in the market that is not being tested by a software tester or quality assurance guy before it's being like launched into the market. So software testing or quality assurance skill is very, very necessary in the current ecosystem. But it's just that we'll be focusing on the fintech products and all fintech products for the two. That is for two. But also coming to crypto, we'll be focusing on the dApps. Yeah, coming to metaverse and NFC DeFi products. I don't really think you get kind of traction right there. But going to the dApps would be highly like recognized and maybe giving a job. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. The questionnaire, what's the name? Is it Pasasi? I be able to answer your question. Please, if you need more clarity, you can maybe rephrase your question or something. But if you don't understand, let us know in the comments below. All right. So before I ask the last question, yes, I'm going to be pinning questions from the audience on the screen. So there's a question from Itoro Brown. He's asking, please, for how long do one need to volunteer before I start expecting some compensation?
Okay. The main essence of volunteering is not for compensation at first. You are volunteering to show that you can do better. Why on the job? Why volunteering for them? Good companies out there, if you volunteer for like a period of 3 to 6 months and they see you fit, they can start compensating you. But there's no fixed time whereby you can get compensated. It all depends on how useful and valuable you are to the company. Yeah. That's just it. Thank you.
All right. So I believe you got that, Ms. Itero Brown, that the level of your competence and how valuable you are to a particular project is what will determine if they are supposed to or they are going to want to retain you so that you keep on working for them while they pay you, right? So while volunteering, it's not time for you to wait for them to be pushing you, or since they are not paying you and you're not really taking the job seriously, right? So even while volunteering, it doesn't mean that you should not look out for other opportunities. Look out for other opportunities, and possibly if you can volunteer for up to maybe 2 to 3 projects, then at the end of the day, luckily maybe 2 of them could pick you, or even 3 if possible. All right, so is there any other question? So Mr. Fasasi, let us know if your question was answered. Okay, quality assurance and certificate. Okay. All right, we are going to move to the last question. The last question from my end. And if you have any question, please do well to drop it in the comments box. Keep your questions coming. Keep your questions coming. And if you are yet to subscribe, please do well to hit on the subscribe button. Click on the bell icon to turn on post notification and give us a thumbs up. All right, so the last but not the least question from my end is what's the question? How can someone leverage their existing skills and experience to be more competitive in the Web3 job market?
Okay, talking about someone having an existing skill and wants to be competing in the Web3 space, like the Web3 job market. At first, you need to network properly. Yeah, having the skills not enough. Networking also plays a major role in the Web3 job market. Networking properly, I think to me, is the solution regarding this networking because you already have the skills and also applying. Yeah, that's it.
All right, that is amazing. I think I am. Do I say I'm a testimony to this thing you are just saying, right? Yes, because it was in December when you referred someone to come and um patronize me, like someone to come and pay me to do a video for them, right? So this wouldn't have been possible if me and you never met, right? So it's necessary if you're in the Web3 space. Anytime you hear of any crypto event, make sure you show up, try and connect with people, right? Even if it is an online event, try and show up and connect with people. Because if I want to count the amount of money I've been able to make in the Web3 space as a result of going for events or as a result of connecting with people, really, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And I would not be able to do that. Um, we schools wouldn't have referred someone or referred me to someone if we never met, because how can you refer someone you don't know, right? So try as much as possible to make sure that you give yourself that exposure, give yourself that connection, try and connect with other people in the Web3 space so that you are going to be able to have access to some informations and opportunities. So let me know if there is any other question. Then, do you have any question for us? Please do well to drop it in the comments below. Do well to drop your questions in the comments below. Drop your questions in the comments below. So we are going to call it a wrap in the next 2 minutes if you don't have further questions from you. Like I said earlier, please do well to subscribe to this channel, give us a thumbs up, and drop a comment in the comments below. Drop your comments in the comments below. So can you, Mr. Wiskus, can you give us kind of maybe a summary of what you've shared with us so far?
Um, Regarding regulatory jobs, all I can say is that you just need to keep being consistent in applying for the job and also networking properly. Regulatory jobs are kind of easy to get, but at times we kind of feel reluctant to apply for them. We kind of apply to them because of limitation laws. So all I can say today is don't give up applying for jobs. Don't fail to connect with the right persons and keep doing your best, keep upgrading your skills. Yeah, thank you.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you so much. So before we call it a wrap, I would like to add, yes, because before we started this session, I had a discussion with Riskubos, and we were talking about issues we are facing in what we are doing, right? And I made
Yeah,
mention that one thing, there is this quote that says that success is at the other end of, is it struggling or something or
so
hardship. So if you, whatever it is you are doing, even if it is nothing related to Web3, I mean, there is no easy means of making money, right? There is absolutely no easy means of making
there is no
money.
easy way. Yeah,
Every single way one could be able to make, even if it's 5 naira, right? There is something that
yeah,
to endure. There's something you have to pass through before you could be able to make that money. So every single business has its own issue. And if you are able to stay consistent, if you are able to be persistent, irrespective of how hard it is, irrespective of how disappointing it is, definitely over time, you are going to win if you don't give up, right? So do
yeah,
yourself that favor, yes, do yourself that favor to remain persistent, to remain consistent, irrespective of whatever it is you are facing. So there's a question from Akanimo John. What Web3 platform can one source for job? I think you've said that already. So please kindly help
Uh,
him with that.
okay, after I stated that already, you can go on web3.career.com, be able to find a list of projects hiring. You go to cryptojoblist.com, be able to like find list of projects hiring. You go to Twitter to search on hash crypto jobs, be able to like see founders, CMOs, and the rest of the persons hiring. You go on LinkedIn to search on hash hiring. You're going to see list of persons hiring. So I think that's the best way to like find valuable jobs in the crypto space. Thank you.
All right, that was super amazing. So notwithstanding, depending on whenever, oh, there's another question. Sorry. So I
Right?
think this is going to be the last question so that this call is not going to be extended till 8 p.m. So the question is coming from Valentine Isa, and the question is, what are the duties of community manager and community mod? Oh, let me just pin the question to the screen. What are the duties of community manager and community moderator in a crypto project?
Okay, thank you very much. There's actually a great difference between a community manager and a community moderator to start with. Now, the duty of a community manager affects the manager moderators. But as a community manager, your role is to like make sure that the group is active, effective, and also engaging to the consumers, that is the audience. Now, as a community manager, your basic role is to like create engagement. Now, by this engagement, you delegate the duties to the moderators. Now, that's just it. Now, as a moderator, your role is to like answer to queries in the community. That's just your only role. But talking about emails and contests is the role of a community manager and not the moderator. I hope you get it right. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that. So we are only having 3 likes, only 3 likes, and
Wow.
currently I think persons are viewing this video. Please do how to hit the thumbs up. It's not going to cost you anything. Please hit on the thumbs up button. hit on the thumbs up button. So there is a question from Akanimo, the platform we posted here. Okay, yes. Which school books we are
Yeah.
going to the list of those platforms, what we have to search on Twitter, what we have to search on LinkedIn, the platforms we have to go search for Web3 jobs, so that I will drop it in the comments box and pin it, so that anybody that is going to see the video would know what action they've got to take. All right, this is where we want to draw the curtain, and I want to take this time to appreciate you, Whiskobus. It was quite an amazing and educative session. Seriously, personally, I've got value, and I believe our audience out there have got value as well. So, to our audience, thank you so much for joining us. Please, can I see thumbs up in the comments? Oh, sorry, thumbs up. Let me. Can we get to like possibly 20 likes? Yes, I believe we can get to 20 likes. So give us a thumbs up and drop your comments or maybe a question in the comments box, and I'm going to attend to it as we are going to bring this session to an end. Thank you once again, Wisco Boost, for honoring our invitation. We are grateful.
Thank you
So
very much. I
guys,
appreciate it.
all right, so stay tuned guys, we are going to be coming your way next week, same time, 6 p.m., same YouTube channel. And I hope you subscribe and turn on post notification so you'll be notified once we bring you another series. So goodbye guys. See you next week. Please do well to go vote if you're Nigerian. Do well to go and
Sure, we'll
vote.
vote.
Do well to go and vote Saturday. So actually, I'm going to be traveling tomorrow so as to be able to vote on Saturday, right? So yes, thank you so much, Akanimo. Thank you for your audience. Thank you. We appreciate that. So all right, goodbye, guys. See you next week.
Yeah, goodbye. Bye.